probably like an hour from now. We'll see what happens, where we are in the narrative. And I will try and fit a break in, or it's a 3-hour session. We can just push through it. Well, it would have been a 3-hour session, but we're going to be in it at midnight.
Yeah. Might even be midnight. Oh, you're going to be before right at midnight, not midnight 30, you're thinking?
I'm not doing that.
Okay. Works for me.
Probably. We'll see what happens. You know,
That's exactly
God
how
make
it goes.
plans, and I laugh.
Yeah.
All right, so, everybody feels good then, yes?
Yes.
You can see you're looking at the you didn't kill him. Oh guys, you tried so valiantly. Oh well.
Cat, make
Are
sure
you
you're
only
on
a reward
rest.
against
Yeah,
me?
I'm almost.
Damn it,
there.
I was gonna keep trying.
Oh yes.
Why
So
is-
everyone, please open up your character sheets. In order to do this, if you can double click
Got it.
on your token, that's one way to do it. Also, you can just find a way to take a long rest. Everyone.
Okay. I don't need to.
There's a bunch of ways to do it.
Also, you can change what your character sheet looks like. Just tell me that.
I don't know if Yellow has that.
I have a few
Oh
options.
yeah, he does. Okay, yes, he does.
He does. I just changed
I
it.
don't know if we want to throw a whole bunch of different things at people all at once. You know,
Okay.
we
Sorry.
will
I
slowly
apologize. I'm
unveil
trying to be
all of
helpful.
the bells and whistles as time goes on. The focus for me is the game. Are we ready?
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. This is not the intro to the campaign music. This is not what this is. This is Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Beautiful. So, diving in, I guess is what we'd call it.
Which one is the
I
dice
hate you so much.
Interface. Excellent. Let's go.
Our story starts on the third rock from the sun, zooming in to a single supercontinent, zooming in further to a large harbor city perched on a cliff along the eastern coast of that supercontinent. Welcome to the city of Neverwinter, also known as the City of Skilled Hands and the Jewel of the North. Some of you are new to the city, arriving as recently as today even. Others of you have been here long enough to know that this is a bustling and cultured city-state known for its master artisans and magnificent gardens. It was regarded by Volo as the most cosmopolitan and civilized city in all of Satil. He was such a fan, he built his great library here, the Voloneum. Anyone who spends any significant amount of time here quickly learns that there's a seedy underbelly that supports the many creature comforts available in Neverwinter proper, down in the shadowy alleys where whispered words shape public policy and hidden hands exchange coin for lives. They know the true cost of living in Neverwinter. They also know how to have fun. Many of the well-to-do and the not-so-well-to-do find themselves in the pleasure and gambling houses that are typically active from dusk till dawn. But when and where do we find our adventurers on this rainy night? The light drizzle barely started. Forgive me. The light drizzle, barely more than a mist, quickly intensified, pummeling the shingled roof of the veranda you all find yourselves in. Strangers to each other mostly, and before you all, strangers to each other mostly, and before you all stands another stranger, the blue-skinned Genasi woman with flowing green hair who invited you all to this seemingly uninhabited estate. The mansion was located on the outskirts of Neverwinter. Standing behind her with their back towards you is an imposing figure clad in glistening black armor from helmet to boot. The metal clangs and clinks as the figure turns, revealing a massive black greatsword. The sharp, angular black armor and helmet completely obscures the individual. A voice echoing with a metal ring comes from behind his faceplate. He says, "So, show me. Show me what you can do."
Ing kind of just
On
jumps
guard.
up right away, and he goes, "That armor is absolutely fascinating. What is it made out?" And he starts to just walk forward. What is it made out of? What kind of metal? And his lenses out of his
Brother?
glasses start to like move. around.
Brother.
What?
I reach out and grab him by the shoulder and pull him back. Brother, easy.
I would like for you
I'm
all
just
to roll
curious.
initiative for me.
It says there's no active combat encounter.
Are you just having us free roll initiative?
Nope.
Because there's no combat encounter to roll it with.
Yep. Do it again.
Aha.
Where is initiative on this?
Awesome.
one?
Utility.
In my character.
Oh, I see it.
Hub on
Yeah, and the
oh, I see.
little
I
thing
got
he
it.
was talking about.
Cool.
Oh, shit.
Hey,
Wow.
yeah. What was that? Nat 20. Nat 20.
I rolled a nat one.
Middle one.
Of course you rolled a net one.
Ooh, that's what I see. I see. I see. It's okay. So did the knight, apparently.
So, as Ing and Ohm just find themselves closer to the night, you can hear a chuckle coming from beneath the mask with the same kind of metallic ring to it, and says, "Yes, I've heard very much about your curiosities. I think it will serve you well, actually. Maybe we can talk about the form of my armor and those who crafted it, but..." And you see him kind of extend the great sword out in his arm, kind of let go, and it just begins dancing beside him in the air, bobbing gently and swaying as he says, and he reaches behind him, pulls out what looks like a little dagger. "There's a good thing about a dagger. You can be nimble with it." And you see him dancing it between his fingers. "Or you can be lumbering." And he dashes forward. At the top of the initiative is Ohm. Ohm, please, if you could describe your character for us and maybe what's going through their mind in this moment.
In this moment, well, first of all, Ohm is the Ing, who is right in front of me, being extremely curious, unfortunately. So I'm out here trying to protect my brother. I am a mercenary GIF. Thank you very much, Ing. And
You always
am
want to fight.
out here to make money. I've been working in Neverwinter looking for... Uh-oh. You broke up for me there. No idea what you just said there, brother. Because it was all in gibberish to me. Basically, my purpose is to protect my family, who is my brother, my twin brother, who is very, very cute this
Fraternal.
night. But all I want to do is kill it. No, that's going through my head. Fraternal. Yes, saying fraternal. Jesus.
Beautiful.
It's actually
it's your turn,
paternal,
man.
isn't it?
Do what you want to do.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna. Are those two different? Okay, you got two different. You got two things to fight. Huh?
Yes, you have the. Well, you don't have two
Alright.
things to fight, but you have the armored knight who said, "Show me," and is now dashing forward with a dagger in his hand, and you have his greatsword that he left there, kind of just bobbing in the air.
Oh, the sword. He's still got the sword in his hand, is what you're saying. The sword's
No,
not a separate.
it's floating. It's floating in the air
The
beside
float
him.
sword. Okay. Okay. I don't know if it's me, but I'm having connection issues. Everyone's like breaking up.
Yep.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit.
So, okay. So he's breaking up. Great. All right, so I'm just gonna come right here. I'm just gonna move here. I'm gonna.
Sure that you target him.
Swing my sword. Oh yeah, thank you. Target him. Still haven't gotten used to
Don't
that.
hurt his armor.
And I swing my sword and yes, and that's okay. And I'm gonna do what I want to do. Don't
As
worry,
he's,
I don't think I hurt his armor. And
As the knight is dashing forward, you come in with your sword attack
Alright.
to strike. It just
Sword doesn't
flashes
work.
against his armor, and he says,
hold on.
"Oh, you'll have to do much better than that."
All right, well, if that doesn't work, let's go ahead and try this. And I pull out my palm and try and hit him.
So in the surprising
For
action, the pistol
21.
comes out, blow, explodes against the armor, knocking the knight off balance a little bit. He's, oh, yes, good. That tenacity will serve you well. Is that going to be the end of your turn?
And then I'm going. Let me take a look at. Wait a minute. Don't
That's
I
action,
get,
bonus action. You got movement left.
Yeah, I'm trying. Do I have movement? I thought I had. I thought I got 2 attacks.
Yeah, you just did. You attack with a sword and then you shot with a pistol because you attack.
Yeah, but I
you have
didn't
an
think-
attack and a bonus action. You don't have extra attack yet. That's not to level 5.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Cool. Then, no, I'm gonna stay where I am.
Beautiful. Love it. And
Close that. How do I,
with the end of Ohm's turn
Where's
here,
end
you
turn
can
on
see
this thing?
Ing as your brother has ran up with a sword clashing against the knight's impressive armor. And in true Ohm fashion, seeing that doesn't work, switches strategies, pulls the pistol out, and Black How, effectively damaging the knight. Describe your character for us, please, Ingval, and you know how they're feeling in this moment.
Yeah, so currently you see this a giant GIF because that is how it is pronounced. GIF, not GIF. And he's dressed in, engineer artificer kind of garb. You see him having a leather apron, lots of tools coming out of different pockets. He has the jeweler's glasses on with multiple lenses and gears that move them in and out depending on what he needs. There's a glint in his eye. It's a lot of just fascination. Everything he sees, he's just fascinated by. And at this moment, as he sees his brother coming up, he is worried about this Black Knight's armor. And he wants to make, because he really wants to know what it's about. Using his free interact with object free action, he pulls out this little device from his pocket as he walks up to him, and he's kind of like pushing Ohm out of the way a little bit in the meantime too. And it's a little wooden rod, and you can see like little brass gears inside. It's kind of whirring and zipping and beeping, and there's a crystal on top kind of glowing, and he calls it an arcane actuator. And he's like, the armor is absolutely spectacular, and the sword, I really would like to know. But before we get into that, he kind of tucks it away again. He goes, I have my own armor too. So you see he's wearing kind of a slim backpack on his back, and he takes his fists and he kind of pulls them into himself, and you see him charge up, and he's going to use his action to activate his arcane armor. And that is... Cannot find it in the list. There it is. All right, so he activates his arcane armor, and out of the backpack, you see these glowing plates of metal start to come out, and he puts his arms out, and you hear this chink, 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 and all the plates just start to flow around him, and you can see like little gears inside of it as well, and clockwork mechanisms. Is chink, 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 poof, and he wears his armor, and his eyes start to glow, and he's completely covered now from head to toe, and he's like, I have my own armor as well, good sir. We must discuss this. And that's the end of his turn.
No bonus action. Anything else that you might want to?
The only bonus action I have is, well, you know what? I do have one thing. Because he does worry about his brother at times. So he will cast Sanctuary as well.
And he says, "Oh yes, fine craftsmanship there and collaboration. Ensure to target Ohm before you cast a spell."
Yeah.
Yes. Teamwork. And you hear it coming from the armored knight. And that's going to be the end of your turn, yes?
Yes, that is my turn. He looks at his brother. He's like, you are trying to just jump into a fight right away, Ohm. Let me just make sure you're okay. He puts his hand on him, and Sanctuary is cast around Ohm.
All right. And you see at the end of that turn, getting the praise from the armored knight, Claire, Thea, we're on you. You're looking. You can see these two twin GIF main character energy brothers running out in front, attacking this, you would imagine is the owner of the home you were all visiting, guests in. What would you like to do?
All right. So you can see Claire looks very, very hesitant on doing anything, but she will raise her hands, target the knight, and guiding bolt him.
Beautiful. Ooh.
Here we go.
Big
Oh my
guiding
dear!
bolt streaking out.
Don't fuck with the druid.
Just crackling energy streaking out just over Ing's massive form as he ducks out of the way. Ohm, completely unawares, it just watches the knight just crash and is now also glowing with this. Well, you describe it for me, Claire. How does the armored knight look since the guiding bolt has made contact?
Slightly silvery, shimmery, little hints of star around him.
Beautiful. Bonus actions, any movements that you want to make?
No, she's going to stay right there and look very scared.
Okay. Okay. That's going to be the end of Claire's turn. You're going to see the Water Genasi woman who you all Actually, I'm sorry. No. Please, Claire, give me an opportunity to envision this. Can you describe your character for me, please?
Sure. So you see an astral elf, pointy ears, purple skin. She's wearing different shades of black and purple. She has these eyes that are black instead of white, but with white pupils instead. And you can see there's this air about her that's solemn, yet scared, that she doesn't want to do anything. Yeah.
Okay. That's an interesting position to take.
Yeah.
You'll see the woman who has invited you all here. Actually, you've met throughout the day, and has all invited you here to kind of for a job. It seems like was the talk, I guess, or the idea. She's gonna look around and say, "Oh, this is too much. I can't. Oh, just always with the theatrics. He could have done this. I didn't have to be the one to do this." There we go. Okay. Please continue. And that'll be the end of their turn there. Kestis, we're on you. If you can please describe your character for us. And yeah.
Sorry, did the Ganassi do anything?
Cast light.
She's cast light. Okay. And this is like an open courtyard. There's no like walls on the outside of it.
This is a veranda of sorts. There are a bunch of walls.
Is it like where the edge of this stone area? Would that be wall on the outside?
Yep.
Okay. So with the rain
like,
kind of. Sorry, go ahead.
It's like what it is. It's like a kind of like a mid-level wall kind of thing. Okay. Cat, is that you with the ticky tick, clickety clacks? It's distracting.
Yes, sir.
All right. So about mid-level wall there, looks like wood beam kind of things, and then there are these like open archway stained glass window situations. You can see the moonlight kind of just refracting through as it's painting the floor of the veranda.
So with the rain kind of coming down, everybody's starting to get, somewhat damp or whatnot. You see it just kind of beating and rolling off of these kind of like almost like a flowing purpley kind of cloak, gold trim. It is, he's got his armor. He seems to be really relatively well kept. You can tell that his, while it's well used, it's also very well maintained. As he's just going to slowly walk up and kind of keep an eye towards the two GIF in front and in combat or in melee with this armored knight. As he's walking over, he's just going to kind of give a shake of his head, and off of his kind of got like a little hunter's cap on. He's going to shake the rain off, and he's going to take his gold little spectacles he has and kind of tuck them away into a pocket and pull out from his back the rifle that he has and the shield from around, and look back at Claire and just say, "Appreciate the assists, my dear." And he's going to take a rifle shot at the armored knight, inspired by Ohm's pistol attack. Bada boom.
I like it. Ooh, as you can see, almost as though the knight learned from Ohm's pistol. He's got his wits about him now. As you pull that shotgun around, lock it into the little opening in your shield, allowing for you to maintain cover behind it. He sees it coming and is able to just spin and duck out of the way as you see the shots go wide.
He's just gonna kind of chuckle to himself and say, "All right," and he's gonna end his turn.
He said, "Good."
While the shots are coming by,
Show
Ing
me
is like, "Oh,
who
goodness!"
you are. And at
Oh,
the end of that,
sorry. The
there's
reason I asked for the wall, he's gonna kind of just like lean back against the wall and kind of use it for support and cover while he's doing his thing.
you are leaning against a shrine. It appears to have a few candles on it and what appears to be a book that is laid open.
All right.
With the end of that, there's Zaltek. We're on you, please. If you can describe your character for us, and yeah, tell me what they want to do.
So all you all see is this black cloaked figure. You can't quite tell exactly what may be underneath this figure quite yet. And you just see him dash forward. He's going to be going all the way over here, right in front of the last person that went. And you see him, and as you notice like these like non-human like legs sort of run. And so you can see that they're kind of like skinny-ish. Not quite sure what's underneath. And then he's going to lift up his, reach out his arm, and then he's going to summon this mystical looking blade and throw it.
Ooh,
Off
what does the blade look like?
It's this, it's like this blue sort of manifested blade.
All right. You can see this spectral blade, barely discernible from the moonlight that is that's coming in there.
Oh, I forgot that. That's why it's not working. One moment. There we go.
Ooh.
He misses to. Oh, accidentally roll twice. I don't know what happened there.
I wouldn't worry
Okay.
about it. So
Okay.
you launch the attack there. You send out the blade, and almost as though he could see it coming, just grabs the spectral ghost dagger out, grab it, and say, "Oh, this is very interesting. But you should focus your intention," and then crushes it, and it just sparkles glitter in his hand.
I then lift out my other arm,
Hmm.
and you see like this insect-like arms, like very skinny insect-like arms.
Right.
And you see, and I then throw another one.
Beautiful. And you just see as the blade, your second one kind of almost in the shadow of the first as he's reprimanding you for your first attack. As you see, he kind of recoils as the blade hits him. Shink. Very strange, able to kind of pierce through the armor, but also not do any damage to it. He says, oh, surprising. Good. I like it. I like you. Your reputation precedes you. I'm glad to see that it was true, mostly.
And
Is that going to be the end of your... talk to me.
Yeah, my character's just going to remain in this like battle-ready stance to be able to throw extra daggers, only seeing these insect arms sort of just reaching out from his cloak, sort of revealing a little bit of a insect body inside the cloak. And that is the end of my turn.
Beautiful. And with that, it will be the Armored Knight's turn as he was dashing forward with a dagger in hand, has since been pummeled and pelted, but is going to begin to return the favor. With a 14, he's going to take aim at Ohm. It slashes him quickly across the chest with the dagger, doing 8 points of damage. Is going to say...
Wisdom saving throw.
Oh, yes. He has to make that before he makes the attack, doesn't he? Beautiful.
Yes. On a failed save, you must choose a new target or lose the attacker's spell.
Yes, because of the arcane armor.
That
Oh,
is a
crap.
natural
I'd
20.
say he passed. Doesn't matter. He passed.
Unfortunately. He says, "Oh, yes, collaboration, smart," and slices through Ohm's chest. And then, it seems to be disinterested in
actually-
continuing working
Oh, never
with
mind.
that.
Go ahead. Sorry. Continue. Sorry.
Yep. Is then going to say that was intelligent strategy to you, and is then going to also make a dagger attack at you as well. And with a 10, he's going to try and get through this armor. Ping, ping. Oh, fine craftsmanship. We will work well together, I believe. Yes.
Is your dagger okay,
and-
though? I certainly don't want to hurt your dagger.
And then you'll see he will appear to just kind of poof and disappear from in front of you. Walk over toward Claire.
Oh, did you see?
Wonderful.
He just popped over there.
And you'll see this massive figure kind of standing over you, Claire, and he says,
Where you go?
even through your reserved elvish features, I can see your resolve is shaken.
You don't want to do this.
I need to know what it is that you want to do.
You hurt my friends.
You don't even know them. And that's going to be the end of his turn. Back at the top with Ohm. Before you take your turn, I think things are going to change a little bit. I think
Okay.
we go back in time a little bit. To earlier in the day, actually. It's a beautiful morning as the blazing sun crests the Titanous Mountains, painting the clouds with the colors of hope and life. We zoom into an apartment, maybe not far from an airship dockyard, a relatively newly renovated shipyard. Actually, forgive me, that's not accurate. Too many things happening at once. Stop that. Thank you. We find ourselves in the Shadow District. Forgive me. We find ourselves in shadowed alleys. Early, before the sun rises, before dawn has started to crest, littered with debris winding their way between tightly clustered row houses is a gift. Stumbling over the worn cobblestones between stagnant puddles, counting your winnings, the looming buildings of the seedy Neverwinter district known as the Gut seem to close in, kind of crowding the already claustrophobic alleyways, encouraging paranoia. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me. As you've been up drinking all night, engaging in all kinds of lavacious, what is
Chicanery.
the word I'm looking for? All kinds of chicanery, if you will. But shit, look, you do this, all right? A night on a time. This is light work for you.
This is my thing, yeah. It is. All I need is another drink and I'll be fine.
Absolutely. So I would also like a perception check from you. And tell me, how's your night been? You know, how do you feel as you're stumbling on your way, I guess, home now that the night's kind of over, right before dawn's coming up? Ooh. Home? Oh shit.
I don't remember much of last night. It's a little hazy. I feel great, but it's all a little
Beautiful.
hazy.
As the silver light of the full moon kind of gives way to the earliest
I
blues.
think
Oh,
there
that land.
was.
To the earliest
Yep.
blues of the rising sun, your sharp senses
Mhm.
honed over the
Yeah.
years to perceive, even through the fog of drink and whoring. You hear what you assume are the faint whispers of another underhanded deal being struck in the seedy underbelly that really keeps Neverwinter going. You know that eavesdropping is a great way to find jobs. Do you try to get closer?
Ain't dropping no eaves.
Do I in particular, or is that an open ended to everybody?
That's you. This is you. You're by yourself in these
That's me?
alleys.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do a roll stealth though first.
Please.
There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna sneak the.
Absolutely.
So I make my way closer.
With a 22, you get a little closer and you can see looks like a couple of cloaked individuals having a kind of hushed conversation. You may recognize one of them, but excuse me, but you don't know them both, and you're really confused about the context that you find them in. You see what appears to be a blue-skinned woman who you just start to make out the end of the conversation saying something like, Capulets coming in and out of their minds at odd hours. They drop this. You see a red-haired halfling. He said, the mines are supposed to be closed. Blue-skinned woman says back to him, Raymond's crew's been moving some of these things. Curious, isn't it? The halfling responds, I have a friend who'd be very interested in this. The blue woman says, you should bring him tonight. We should talk here. What this can do, this technology, they're trying to keep it very secret. And that's about what you hear before they seem to like kind of end their conversation and split off.
I heard something about capitalism.
That's a lot with the hiccups. All right.
All right. It's a lot of drink. It's a lot of drinking.
I keep stumbling along.
Right.
Super stealthy hiccups, though.
Right. But for real, super stealthy hiccups.
Oh no! I already overheard the conversation. That's done.
Beautiful.
This part's done.
You should recognize that halfling too.
You might. Give me a history check. See if you remember this halfling.
Is that Colin? Is that Colin a half foot?
Who knows?
Is that who I think it is? Is that your friend Ing?
Well, I'm not there
Ing's
with
friend?
you, but if you
Think it's
if
Ing's
you
friend.
get the
That's
check,
not-
you will find out. But yeah,
I know, but
yeah, Colin is his friend. Colin Halffoot.
yeah, I mean, yes, Colin Halffoot, yes. So now I'm like, oh no, Colin's working for the Capulets. I gotta go tell Ing.
Is that what you're mumbling to yourself as you're hiccuping through this alley?
Yes.
Beautiful.
He's quite drunk.
Quite drunk. Remember, I don't remember anything of the night before, but I feel great the next day. But remember, it's very hazy, so I definitely drank a lot.
You hear a voice kind of coming from behind you and say, that's not quite the situation. And you see that same blue-skinned woman who was just talking to Colin there next to you saying, he's not working with the Capulets, nor am I. He just understands these things a little better than I do, and a little bit better than my lord does. How do you know the halfling?
Where's my? That's my brother's friend.
Oh,
Who
your
are
brother must
you?
be his
You're-
friend that he's talking about.
Yeah,
Then, yes.
yeah. Hey, you want
Oh,
to
are
get a
you?
drink?
Do
You
you?
want to get a drink? I had a long day at treasure hunting. I could use another drink.
You're gonna see her say, I don't think that it's probably the best time of the day for me to start drinking. Do you have plans today for anything important? I would
I'll
maybe
tell you a
like.
secret.
Yes.
I'm looking for the secret treasure of. Fuck, what the fuck was it called again? Hold on. Damn it. Discord being slow, computer must need to be restarted. So going meta for a
Of
second, sorry.
the Voloneum.
From the Volneum, thank you. I'm looking for the treasure of the Volneum.
Oh, you want
Shh.
the
Don't
secret
tell
hidden.
anybody.
The secret hidden no one's ever found before, treasure lost in the many hidden halls of the Voloneum. That's what you're looking for?
I'm close to it. I know it.
Well, yes, the library is just down the road, so you are quite literally close to it.
Wait, what? It's here?
Been here. Do you not know the myth? The myth is that somewhere hidden in the library is the treasure. No one found it, so everyone stopped looking for it, and they all assumed that it was a ruse that was created to garner more tourism. Is that something that you're sincerely interested in?
Yes.
My lord may have some connections that he can connect you with.
Who? I gotta go tell my brother, though, that his friend's working with the Capulets.
You just see her kind of pinch the bridge of her nose. Right. Yes, you should do that. In fact, and she kind of pulls a piece of paper out and hands it to you. You should meet me at this address later tonight. There may be some work for you.
Can I bring my brother? I don't leave him anywhere. He needs my protection.
Well, I was hoping to speak with him myself, but sure, you can certainly do that if you'd like.
Wait, do you know my brother?
Well, if he is as smart as Colin says that he is, then my lord may have work for him as well.
Colin's working for the Capulets.
That's also still not, and she's just going to hit you with a lesser restoration, and all of your alcoholic is, all of it is gone. You are no longer poisoned by alcohol. You are dead sober. First thing in the morning, all of the aches from having drink still there though. So
then why don't I remember the night before?
You do.
Remember I rolled the. Okay.
or you don't.
Damn it! You totally changed my story.
So now that your mind is maybe in the right place, I just need you to understand, Colin is not working for the Capulets. That's not what's happening.
Are you sure?
Fairly certain. Are you
sure?
Yes.
I swear I heard him say that he was helping.
Well, he
the
found.
I don't know. I don't trust that brainy little halfling.
Okay, well, sure. Well, I have things that I must tend to. So you enjoy yourself.
Thank
Good day.
you. Where was I going anyway? I guess I'll head home.
Oh man, that was fascinating. With that, we are back in the present time, I guess, and you are still fighting. What would you like to do?
I am there. He's there. That's for. You know what? It's musket. Oh, target first, right?
Ing does look at you, and he's looking down there, and he's kind of looking at stuff. He's like, I do believe he is quite distant for us to actually fight him. Oh, you're taking out your gun. Okay. I believe that would be the wisest choice right now.
Olm is taking out his musket.
Brother, I don't need Yes.
Beautiful. So you're gonna throw down your sword and your pistol while you do that?
Do I need to move? Let me. No, I'm going to put away my sword and my.
You won't be able to put it away and pull out a musket. So you can throw them on the floor and pull out your musket. You can do that.
Would that use my whole action though? No, right?
If you were to put away your weapons that you have out and pull out another weapon, that would take your whole action. If you throw the weapons you have on the floor and pull out a weapon,
got you.
That's free.
But then next turn picking them up is free, correct?
Yep.
Or is that an action? Okay.
But you will have to.
Yeah, so I'll do that.
You'll have to You won't be able to put anything away. Like if you put the musket away next turn, then you can pick them up.
Ing does look at you and he sees your quandary. He's like, they are close enough for a pistol, brother. You don't necessarily have to use the musket.
That's true. And with the
just shoot him. Just fucking do it, man. What are you scared of?
What? I'm not scared of anything. I'm just trying to figure out what weapon to use.
Ooh. Blood out. What is happening here? Why are there so many of them? Oh,
whoa.
Here we go.
I don't know.
All right.
Does it still think the guiding bolt is on him?
Piercing as well? I don't know why twice.
Yeah, it only showed it one. It's only once in the chat. So.
No, it's weird.
Oh no, there's two.
I'm confused.
No, there's two. One says.
Oh no.
One's the damage
Okay, so
already.
it's the same one.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Like it did the damage already.
It's just showing the attack.
Yeah, that's it.
Time for some reason.
I see. It's the same
Beautiful.
one. Just one's the hit and the other's the damage. So it does 11.
Beautiful.
Points.
So, lining up the shot with the pistol there, getting a critical hit on the back of this armored, on the back of this armored individual. Describe that shot for me.
So I just whip out the pistol and I aim down the sight and I fire it right between the eyes of the knight, knowing that there's a weak spot right there.
Okay.
And bing, and it goes right through that thin part of the metal and react.
Crashes into him. You can see him. You watch his body stumble forward a bit, and you can hear him again. That kind of metallic ring to everything that he says, saying, "Ha ha! Never turn your back on your enemies." You're absolutely right. Incredible martial training you've received over there. Yes. Anything else you'd like to do? I don't think you can do a bonus action here. So, a bonus action attack. Movement.
No, I mean I could do an action surge if I really wanted to, but I'm not going to waste that here. No, I'm just going to end my turn. So let me do my turn. Oh, I don't have
Beautiful.
the thing up for some reason. Oh, thanks, sir. Why can I not pull up the...
So you don't want to take any movement or anything?
Turn down there. Cool. No.
All right. With
I'm protecting my brother.
With Ing.
Yes.
Again. Time changes. We're going back to the beginning of the day for you. Tell me, how does Ing usually start his days? What does Ing's days really look like?
Well, he gets
day
up
for Ing?
quite early in the morning. Usually, before the sun rises. So I would say maybe in this day, maybe about 5 a.m. He wakes up, brews a little coffee in his little, his some beakers and his distillery stuff where he makes his coffee. And this particular morning was actually quite important to him because he had just finally cracked the mystery of how to create his arcane armor after reading through the guidance tomes of the legendary artificer Merrick Stakhanith. He finally cracked that information, and he realized he needed his smithing tools. So he took an hour to use his ability of any given, what is it called? The right tool for the job. To create a set of smithing tools that he requires to use his armor. So he took an hour of that in the morning to do that. So I'm going to click that while we're doing it. And he created a set of smithing tools so he can get moving on with creating his armor. After that, he dove more into the many tomes of books he has to increase his knowledge in his chosen path as an artificer and his fantastical theories that he is trying to learn on planar travel.
So he's not going to work.
This not yet. I mean, what time of the day is it?
Oh, so he's reading before.
He doesn't have to be at work until 8 o'clock. He got up at 5.
Word up. Beautiful stuff. Spend some times in the morning kind of getting through the morning ritual, go off to work. Seems like a fairly regular day, right? As you approach the airship dockyard, this impressive building, it seems brimming with blue collar sophistication, just bustles with activity as laborers collaborate to build and repair airships, everything from personal schooners to trading galleons. In one bay, a couple of kobolds, a half elf, and an orc assemble carefully shaped ribs of a new ship's keel, the skeleton of a hull gradually becoming visible through their work. Outside, two-man teams use meticulously filed saws to cut enormous timbers into planks, ribs, and spars. One of the yard's old dry docks has been repurposed to facilitate the construction of the arcane apparati that allow these mostly seafaring vessels to take to the skies. You go to work, right? Like most of the days.
He comes in, he goes to the back corner to his little humble alcove with a small toolbox, carrying a basket with his lunch, some sandwiches, if you will, and he kind of walking in, whistling, waving to people as he walks over to his station. Ing, unfortunately, as he is probably one of the more intelligent people at this dock, but however, professionally, he has not moved up the ranks very highly, despite his congenial demeanor. So he goes there, starts arranging his tools to get ready to do his assignments for the day, which is mostly engineering work. And on this day, he was working on some of the cabling systems that bring all these arcane energies together.
Now you get through first half of the day, as normal, as to be expected. Give me an Arcana check to see how much progress you make on your complex cabling systems.
Okie dokie. Actually, gotta go to my sheet. It's not in the. Is it on a utility? No, I gotta go to my sheet for that. or skills?
It'll be it'll be skills.
Skills, yeah. Ooh,
Oh man, the emotional
for the bonuses.
roller coaster. Right. Yeah. But for real though. With that though, yeah, you make good progress, man. You make good progress. You just know that somebody's gonna notice it this time, and maybe you'll get fairly compensated, as is the promise of capitalism.
he's more interested in being noticed than pocketing coin.
Well, that would
Pulls
be
out
the
a
competition.
handkerchief. He's wiping his brow. He's pulling one of his coworkers. He's like, look, like, can you believe it? Yesterday I only got 2 of these accomplished. Today I doubled the output to 4. I believe I found a system to get this done more quickly.
And I assume you're speaking to your pal here, your confidant, your coworker, Colin Halffoot.
Foot, yes. The halfling comes up to about barely my hip, I would say. Ing is about 7.5 feet tall. So Colin is quite down there, but Ing looks at him as if his stature was as high as his own.
There's this red-haired halfling man with the a little bit of muttons coming down here. You see a scar that seems to be spreading kind of across his cheek. He says, "Hey, Ing, listen, I wanted to show you after work. I didn't want to like bring it out here. I kind of stashed it outside, but you'll never fucking believe what I found here this morning, man."
He grabs a towel and he said, wipe off his hands. What have you got, my friend? What have you got?
He pulls out what looks like a little like a little bundle there. Has like just this cloth, something wrapped up in a cloth. He starts to slowly unfold and he says, "I was passing through the gut because I live, I can't get the housing. I live right outside the gut. I was passing through the gut on my way to work today, and I found this thing. I don't know what it is." And he kind of shows you this broken piece of fashioned metal and glass, almost resembling to like a spark plug. If it was 1998. What appears to have a few like small cut gems laid into its base. There's some arcane runes and things that are kind of all over it, placed in different sequences that you're not familiar with, and it appears to have some banana peeling on the metal end. Looks like maybe something just blew out one end of it and completely caused it to open up and peel back, and he's just kind of holding it out to you.
So he reaches up, presses on the side of his head, and the jeweler's glasses come down, and you see the gears turning in different lenses. He's like, "Wow, my word! What? I see some crystals. They do appear to be in some kind of formation, and it looks like there was an energy blowout on this end here, but I'm not quite sure what this could be or what could have caused it. Would it be an investigation check that you would like?
Or Arcana.
Arcana? Okay. Same thing.
Ooh.
Not as good.
All right. With a 12, you're taking a look at it and you're seeing some things. You don't quite understand the magic of it. It's definitely it's used specifically for doing something magical. The closest that you can tell, the thing that it kind of almost like vague is it looks like it could be. So here's the thing, right? You're an inventor. You invent things and you understand prototyping, how the different models and how things kind of evolve over time and how some things become obsolete and the newer version of it kind of takes its place. This looks like if it works the way you think it might, and you can't be certain about it, but this looks like it looks similar in construction to some of the arcane apparatus that you all build here for the skyships, although exponentially reduced in size, and also the glyphs on it. And you can't understand the glyphs as well as you would like to. You can't understand them, but it's something different. It's just it doesn't. If you were to repair this and say try to use it, you don't think that it would work, because something about the glyph work on it is wrong.
Question: with the Arcana check, Was there magic energy in this thing?
There was no magical energy in it. With a 12.
Well, my question is
that's
will
it.
you allow me to cast a spell?
Yeah. You want to?
So he looks at it, he's like, yes. He looks at it, he's like, this might require a little more investigation here. I'd like to cast the spell Identify. You choose one
absolutely.
object that you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. If it's a magic item or some other magical imbued object, you learn its properties and how to use them, whether it's required to use and how many charges it has, blah, blah, blah. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item. The item was created by a spell. You learn which spell created it.
You take your time casting Identify.
He holds the object and he closes his eyes for a moment. And he just opens up his palm, and you just see his hand just swirling over it like this, as you see this energy start to form between his hand and the object as he casts his spell. And it swarms down into it, and almost like holographically, whatever information is learned, you see just comes up and just starts to like float and circle around it, like it's a hologram shooting up, as you can see it.
So as it's as this kind of these holographic glyphs kind of start to come off of it in this arcane in this kind of spectral arcane images floating around this piece, this device, this broken device here. You're learning much more about it there, but you don't get a name for it. It's something about the level of technology that this exists at is beyond anything that should exist in the world. You can tell that much. From that, what you do learn from it, though, using the Identify spell, is that it's essentially its purpose is to transform the magical energies of individuals or items or some kind of magical energy into power that can be used to propel or to charge or to and it doesn't, and the magic of this device here is that it doesn't matter what kind of energy it is. In fact, it can just be raw spell energy. But it's like a converter. It's essentially an arcane converter, if you will.
Would it be converter? Because I actually had something written down for future use. I would say it's more of a capacitor.
No, it's a converter.
Converter, okay.
Yeah. No, the capacitors serve different purposes.
Okay. All right, so it transforms magical energy. Okay, so he looks at it. He's like, interesting, very interesting. Colin, would you mind, my good man, if I held on to this for a little bit?
I'll do you better than that. I want to take you to the lady that told me to bring it to you. All right, now
word.
I told her you were smart, and I told her that I think, and she said she knows that it has something to do with the Capulets. I guess the Capulet mines.
Capulets. The Capulets
that are supposed to be closed. The Capulet mines that are supposed to be closed. This came from there.
Ohm finds out about this. He's going to have it be in a fury. The Capulets. Are the Capulets have anything to do with this item?
Just keep your fucking voice down. What are you doing?
I don't know. We have an issue with the Capulets. We don't get along very well.
I'm just saying, I don't know. The lady, listen, come down with me to the gut tonight. All right, and we'll meet with the lady, and then she'll tell you whatever it is that we can figure it out. She was incredibly attractive too. Like, I thought she was making a pass at me.
While you're talking, first, he's still just looking at the item and just kind of nodding as you're talking.
Because I kind of got it like that. I mean, I was quite a charming kid, but I had to I had to slide. What? Oh, you weren't listening again. That's fine. All right. Is lunch over yet?
I haven't even eaten yet. Gods, I have not even eaten yet. He grabs one sandwich, shoves it in his mouth real quick.
Beautiful. So that happens. Lunch finishes. You get through the rest of your day. Do you meet with Colin and go down to the gut?
Yeah.
Travel down to the shaded alleys, thrumming with gamblers and tricks, slowly thinning as they're finding their respective destinations. You see the blue-skinned woman that Colin was telling you about. And he kind of runs you over there, and she says, "It's a pleasure to meet you. I've heard very much from our mutual little friend here. Were you able to learn
Montague,
anything?"
at your
Oh.
service. May I have your name, please? He did not tell me your name.
Well, I don't believe I ever told him my name. Actually, he didn't seem very interested in it, to be honest.
Colin, you didn't even get the woman's name?
You see Colin just kind of throw his hand, start scratching the back of his head. And he says, "Oh, don't worry
Please,
about it.
man.
My name is Janae."
Janae, it is a pleasure to meet you, Janae. So he showed me a very
Pleasure.
interesting item. He also mentioned something of an unsavory lot of people that I really do not want to have any association with.
Yes, it seems that item I requested that he bring to you because he said that you were incredibly intelligent in it. I think your field of expertise, you work at the dockyard, yes? May have provided you some
expertise.
insights.
I dabble. I guess you could say I dabble in system. But yes, it is quite an interesting item. I do feel it transforms some magical energy. Propulsion? I believe is what I garnered
Was
from
my
this.
concern.
Concern. It's fascinating.
Well, that was my lord's concern, actually.
For?
Well, that, we believe, fell off of the mountain where the Capulet mines are located.
But the Capulet's mines.
So now you understand the concern.
This is a crystal. I need to get this appraised as well. However, are you saying the Capulets had a hand in creating this item as well?
My lord would be able to explain further, but you would have to meet him tonight.
Most interesting indeed. Most interesting indeed. I don't know how Ohm would feel about this, though. My brother may pause at meeting unverified people, especially if the Capulets may be involved.
You see kind of a smile kind of creep across her face. He says, I think your brother may surprise you.
What do you know of my brother?
I have to go for now, but meet at this address, and she hands
This
a
is
sheet of paper to you.
shenanigans happening here right now.
And then she begins to walk away, and you watch as she's walking away. She walks up to what appears to be you just see like a stone pillar. And it almost seems to shimmer as though looking through like the haze of a hot day, the stone pillar. And she takes out a pouch and kind of hands it into the shimmering stone pillar, and the pouch in her hand disappears. And then she in turn also disappears.
What does she... Colin, she just disappeared into a stone pillar. What is happening here? Why did you not get her name? What is the matter? It's like hitting him with
Colin.
his handkerchief.
All right. Listen, next time I'll be sure to get beautiful woman's name. All right, like what do you want me to do?
Of course, the first thing you notice is her looks. Of course, that would be the first thing you notice is her looks.
Well, it's hot. She glows.
Did you see what she is carrying? And she's talking about Capulet.
I brought it to you. So, he's eating a carrot. He says, you think the Capulets, you think they figured something out, or?
The Capulets are not smart enough to create something like this. If anything, the crystals definitely came from their minds. But I don't think they have anyone smart enough in their circles to create an item such as this. They must have outsourced it.
Absolutely.
I would like to get this
returning
appraised as well.
Returning back, Ing, we're on you.
Yes.
What would you like to do on your turn?
So yeah, as his brother was pulling out his gun, he's pulling out his, and he's kind of wiping it down because the rain's coming down. He's like, they are obviously too far away to hit right now, so I guess we should use it. And he sees his brother not even paying attention. He lifts up his gun. He's like, oh, okay. So he actually takes his gun out and points it at the same time that Ohm is pointing his, so they kind of like are mirroring each other.
Yep.
As they shoot at the
Angels.
same time. And he targets the knight. And where's my pistol? There it is. He takes aim as his brother did.
Oh, yes.
And both bullets fly out.
Good shots.
Oof. My bullets aren't as good as his, but they still hit.
Crashing into a pong, pong. You see him saying, yes, show me who you are. You're going to need to be able to fight very hard if you're going to survive what the Capulets have in store.
What is, again with these Capulets? What is going? I swear, good Lord, we really need to talk. So he does actually use his movement, and he moves up. What, you keep bringing them up. We really need to discuss some things.
Beautiful. It's going to be the end of your turn.
Yes.
Love it. Claire,
Yes.
we are on you. Earlier in the day again. What's these flashback stuff? Was this a good storytelling trope or no? Tune in next week, folks, to see if anybody shows up. Boom. Nope, this one. So we find Claire Thea. Here you are. It's about mid-morning. And you're standing outside at the foot of these towering stone structures that seem to defy reality, soaring at high odds, tilted angles. An open archway in its base is inviting you into the Voloneum. But what you're looking for, is restricted to all but the highest of high society arcanists. You've been denied access before. The concept, I think, of denying access to knowledge seems so foreign to you. As an astral elf in the Astral Sea, the land is pure consciousness, where thought is the most powerful resource. Denying one access to knowledge, it's oppressive to you. This won't stand, I think. You heard of this great sage by the name of Mordenkainen, who has discovered so much about the inner and outer planes. And he and Volo were friends, and Mordenkainen left some of his things in Volo's Voloneum. You have to see if you can learn about that. Just past the archway is a reception desk and a couple of guard scholars who, are happy to guide you around the unrestricted sections, but there wasn't anything there for you. You got to get past them.
Yes.
What do you want to try and do to get past them?
She's really dumb. So she's going to look at one of them. She's tall, so probably around the same height as them. So look at them in the eyes and say to them, "Sir, there's something going on. People are dying. People are dying. Please, I need to know more."
Okay. You hear one of the voices. Reggie, eyes up. I'm gonna talk to this lovely lady. All right. So you said people are dying, dear. We're just a couple of library security guys. How can we help you?
In the Astral Sea, people are dying. They're traveling and they're coming back wrong. Coming back wrong.
Oh, that's terrible. But there isn't much that we can do about that. Do you need to do some research? What is it that you're looking on books in the Astral Sea?
Yes, I need to know more.
Well, if you have the appropriate paperwork filled out, then it shouldn't be an issue. Do you have your library card?
Where can I get one?
Well, I'm sorry, miss, but if you have to ask the question, then you probably don't need to know.
That's not right.
Yeah, I don't really make the rules. As this kind of large half orc starts to look around, you can see he turns back to the one who we called Reggie. Looks like a stout dwarf there. Reggie says, kind of grumbles under his breath as he's leaning back in his chair and kind of tilting his hat down over his eyes, saying, "Yeah, well, there's just nothing that we can do for you if you don't have the appropriate forms." Yeah, it's not much that we can do here. You're welcome to, if you want, I can still show you around some of the unrestricted sections, if you'd like.
No, I'll come back.
All right, yeah, have a great day.
And she leaves.
As she walks out of the library.
She's annoyed. She doesn't
Gotta try and
show
find-
it, but you can kind of tell.
Gotta try to find a way to sneak past them.
Yep. Hmm.
What you thinking?
She's not very good at much. And she's aware of that. I think she's going to leave, ask other people around what the fuck is up with that. They're
Okay.
not going to be any help to her.
As you're kind of walking around outside the library, about midday here, you can see a few people. This being the kind of just outside of like the shadier district, and also during the middle of the day, you can see some people are coming out here, coming down, going to the random like pop up bazaar and food carts and things like that for lunch and brunch, and everybody's kind of the middle of the day activity situation going on. Give me a perception check. Wow, sure, why not?
Perceptive.
As you're walking around and you're saying you're just kind of talking to people and saying like, "Yo, what's up with this library?"
Asking what's about a library card sort of questions.
You walk up to a what looks like a couple of half elves. Maybe you felt more comfortable approaching them first. They appear to be buying what looks like these scones with a layer of like this whipped cream kind of dolloped on top of it. And they're kind of munching on them, talking about some bullshit that they got into last night. And they say, "Oh yes, no, library card." You said, "Yeah." The library, the Voloneum, yeah, it's open to the public, right? You need an escort, of course, if you're going to go in. They always can find someone to escort you. But then there are certain sections that have been closed off. I don't really do much reading, so I don't really care about anything that's in there. But they are only accessible to some of the highest members of Neverwinter Society.
Who will those be?
Politicians, incredibly wealthy business people, famous adventurers. Those they're always, one to need to do some research or something.
Adventurers, you say?
Right.
I should go find one.
Where are you from? I don't think I've ever seen anyone that looks quite like you before.
Everywhere and nowhere.
very close with my elfish family, and you don't even look like you're not even like a high elf. What is this?
From everywhere and nowhere.
And you see the other one kind of saying, clearly you're prying, darling. Just leave her to her business.
I don't
He
mind.
said, oh, you don't mind?
No. You're curious.
Yeah,
Good.
well, yes, I guess. If you're going to tease me, then sure. I guess it's good to be curious.
Yes. I'm from there. And she points up.
This sky. Okay. Well,
Quite.
you have a great day then. And they
You
kind of
too.
scurry off. What you notice, with your 25 perception check, is there appears to be somebody who's kind of keeping tabs on you. Just kind of following you around a little bit. It's kind of like dark robe, blue-skinned woman, incredibly gorgeous, kind of bluish green hair flowing down the side of it, and she's never too far away from wherever you are.
Claire stops and turns around, looks at her.
Well,
Hello?
you kind of hear her mumble under her breath, "I never was good at sneaking."
Come here.
Why don't you come over here, darling?
Okay. And she walks over. No self-preservation.
And she says, I saw you inquiring about getting a library card.
Yes, that's correct.
I may be able to help you with that. There may be
Oh.
something that we can do to assist you, but of course, tit for tat kind of thing. One hand washes the other, both wash the face.
Okay. Okay.
Would you like to get a glimpse of what might be inside there now, before we can get you your own library card?
Sure.
You really are very trusting, aren't you?
I just want to know.
Yeah. It's a good thing you're not a cat, I guess.
I don't get that.
Wait, the curiosity and cats, they don't go too well together. It's not important.
Okay.
Let's go take a look then, yes?
Okay.
And then she kind of guides you in through the archway again. You see the same half-orc and the dwarf there, and they, ma'am, as she kind of walks by and guides you in through the library, as you're going down through the sections you've been through before. You see she's beelining as though she'd been here before, as though she knows what you're looking for. She knows exactly where to go. You haven't given her any information. You make it to the restricted section. What you've learned about it so far is it's like a repository rumored to be enchanted to help the researcher find what they're researching, whether they know what they're looking for or not. Inside, you find yourself passing libraries, laboratories, dormitories, and grand halls much larger than the tower's exterior suggests should be possible. The presentation was fine, and the guided, disembodied voice of Volo gave the perfect tour. You can hear him kind of saying, "And here you'll find a replica of the laboratory where I conducted much of my research. Of course, the original was destroyed when I discovered the consequences of crossing two interdimensional planes over one another." And various other tales like that, as you guys are kind of just passing by these different places. all the while, you'll notice the passages by which you're traveling seem to like shift randomly at a moment's notice. Suddenly there'll be a dead end where an archway just was, then appearing where you swear there was a featureless stone wall is a spiral staircase that seems to beckon you in particular. The person who's guiding you through here doesn't seem to notice anything and is continuing past it. What are you doing?
Looking around curiously. Kind of looks over to the guest, the one who's bringing her in. Starts asking her questions such as, do you know what happens when people die?
I know a lot of the things that happen when a lot of people die. There are a lot of different kinds of things that can happen when people die.
Oh. I'd love to hear more about this later.
I'd be glad to share it with you. Is there anything in here that seems to be speaking to you? What are you looking for exactly? And again, you just get this kind of draw to this spiral staircase.
Over there, she points.
Against the wall there?
Spiral staircase.
You see a staircase?
Yes.
You see her face look a little intrigued. And she says, then I think maybe you should go and see what is up and or down that staircase. I can't really see it, so I don't know which direction it's going in.
Okay. She walks along.
You're walking toward the wall. You see the staircase seems to be spiraling downward. You go down through the spiral staircase. You look around and you don't see the woman with you anymore.
That's fine.
Nearly every surface of the staircase looks as if it was woven together with arcane symbols, etched along the railing and the steps, words of power, protective glyphs, esoteric alphabets, all engraved or painted or chalked. Sometimes the writing is linear and orderly. Sometimes it appears in sprays of chaos. Then a sigil before you, like a puff of smoke, just shoots up, and you all the while as you've been walking, you've been hearing Volo's very amiable well, I'll tell you a story about how I've discovered the truth of Tarasks and where they're most ticklish, and all of these kinds of silly stories. As this puff of smoke dissipates, you hear a very different voice. In very few recorded instances, the soul of a mortal can be afflicted directly, causing it to decay or transpose while still attached to its material shell. This soul affliction manifests in a myriad of ways, such as, but not limited to, metamorphosis, disease, uncontrolled ethereal transitions, possession, and in almost all cases, death. But not death as we commonly know it. Soul afflictions are rare and seem to only occur where there is an interaction between the outer and inner planes. And it's before that can finish, you feel this kind of heavy hand plop down onto your shoulder, and you hear a warm yet disappointed voice saying, "Yeah, you're not supposed to be here." And instantly the entire world changes, and you're back outside of the Voloneum, seemingly standing where you were before you entered. But there's no open archway, no more invitation.
I recognized for a moment the orc's voice, but it didn't click until this bitch started talking. Now I know who they are.
So back outside, alone, you look around, You see a few people seem to gasp and recoil from what seems to be a bronze dragonborn in chainmail dragging a large chicken head through the streets. You don't know what that's about. And then you hear the familiar voice of the woman saying, "It's quite a sight, isn't it?
Indeed.
My lord can get you back into the Voloneum and get you your own library card, if you'd like. But
Please.
I don't know what it was that you were looking for in there. He may have access to whatever it is whatever it is that you're looking for more directly, and you don't need to be shackled or handheld. If you would prefer a term that's less slavery."
I'll take whatever information I can get.
Meet me at this address, as she handed you a piece of paper. Tonight,
Okay.
just after the sun goes down. Yes?
Yes.
I look forward to seeing you.
You too.
No, touchy.
And back present day, present time, whatever that shit is called. Oh. Oh boy. There we go. Oh, I'm stuck. I'm gonna have to refresh Foundry, but it's your turn. Claire,
Yeah,
do
it
with it
was-
what you will.
It was
Yeah,
still on the
mine's still
battle
on the
map the
wrong
whole
page
time.
too. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
The
no,
whole
it's on-
time?
it's
Oh,
in-
that's trash.
Yeah, it
The
but it just turned to the
whole
library
time.
now.
Yep.
I was
that's
imagining the
rough.
whole thing. It was fine. I
We're
was there.
nerds. We have good imagination.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I was
That's
actually
exactly
like,
what it looked
Deal
like
at
in my head.
I saw more like
Great.
ways to go down along where the book, so I
Yeah.
saw the shelves
I was a little more
more.
narrow.
Well, the glowing globe I thought was more bluish than green, but yeah. it's-
Right. Of course. Of course. So let's try this again, huh? All right.
I already know this is
Um,
fine.
Yeah. So, whatever the fuck it is that you want to do there, Claire, your
Alright.
turn.
She looks at the armored knight. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going to happen if you die. And she is going to cast. Hold on. She is going to cast Inflict Wounds, touching him.
Please.
Why not?
No. Oh.
He's gonna say, "You're preoccupied. Keep your goal in
Ooh.
mind, but focus on what's in front of you."
Alright.
That's going to be the end.
I think she's
Talk
going
to
to
me.
try to get up fucking away.
You're gonna get hit, or maybe not.
She's running. She doesn't care. She's going to her friends. Fuck this. Now she's going to be like, no, don't lose connection.
As he sees you start
Comes
running.
the opportunity.
I lost connection.
It's all right. You'll be back.
As you start running, no, Inga's like looking at you. She's like, I would not
There
recommend.
we go. She's run the fuck out of the way. She just, no.
Hey. And
She
as
tried.
he's running by, you see him kind of swipe at the back of you and say,
No.
maybe if I really tried, I could have taken you out.
Maybe if I tried, I could have taken you out too.
And that is going to be the end of that, of your turn there. 11 o'clock, guys. Do you want to take a break? I don't know, take a piss, get some water, eat something, drink something.
I was already ahead of you. Bluetooth headphones.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Same.
So I need a break then. 10 minutes. I'm going away. Well,
Okay.
8 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And then we will be back and finish this session out. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Alrighty. Sounds good.
Beautiful. Beautiful. outside. You don't think it ever actually entered the mines. As you're dragging this, just the head, you left the rest of the. I don't know what. You tell me, Kestis. What did you do with the rest of the creature's body, as you took the head for proof of purchase?
Well, Kestis would have been pretty disappointed at the nature of his quarry, in that, you know, while he's got a lot of morals for the deeds that he does in his paladin nature, he can't resist the opportunity to dispel the evil of a chromatic reigning on a series of people. So he's pretty chapped. Normally, if he's cleaved a head from a body of something that he's hunted, it would be quite, clean and precise. This one's been it was pretty crude. He took a little bit of anger out on the rest of the corpse of this fiendish cockatrice that he was tasked with dispatching.
Well, there you go. And as you're kind of approaching the estate where you are to pick up your earnings, give me a perception check.
That is skills perception. Great roll.
Beautiful. You're startled. You're startled by a familiar, an all too familiar female voice. As you make your way toward the estate, you turn, you see a beautiful silver dragonborn wearing her signature kind of body-hugging Mortal Kombat style tunic that hangs down at the front and the back. Subtle bejeweled ringlets and chains adorn her shimmering silver head, tendrils that hang like locks of hair to her shoulders. You hear the voice say, "So you survived. Too bad." And of course, adorned across her hips, the gem-encrusted hilts of her twin short swords. You know them to be named Tempest and Squall. Hammerhead strikes again. I guess it's for the better. I wouldn't have taken that job anyway.
He's just gonna kind of give a low guttural growl, and you see kind of as he's kind of got his mouth just part way open, there's a little bit of like electricity kind of crackling between his teeth, and he's just gonna look at her and gonna stand up straight and compose himself a little and say, "I've had enough getting stabbed in the back for one day. Why didn't you move along?"
Working for the Capulets, though? Ugh. You really need to get out of the woods and into the cities more, Kestis. You're a bumpkin here in Neverwinter. Stabbing you in the back is probably the best thing I could have done for you.
Agree to disagree. And he's gonna just kind of start to continue along his path and make a point of giving a bit of a, probably with more force than is necessary, shoulder check out of the way. And
give me an athletics check.
Gladly. Oh, that's animal handling, not athletics.
Let's see what happens. Hey. Knock her clean back. Oh. All right, listen, no hard feelings, of course.
None for you, I would presume. You know me. I go where the money's good, and Well, the well's dried up in a lot of other places around here, so
No, you're stubborn.
that we have in common.
And she says, well, it's not my business who you do business with. Just ensure that you're doing good business. And she kind of walks away.
As she walks away, you're right. It is none of your business. And he continues on.
Hammerhead strikes again. Hammerhead strikes again, Neverwinter. You can hear her just shouting in the distance as she's walking away.
This bitch.
You walk up to the estate there. You rap on this massive hanging lion head thing, door knocker. As you knock, it doesn't go boom, boom, boom as you would expect, but instead it's full-on MGM logo. Rawr, rawr, rawr. And you're brought into the estate by a rough-looking human servant, dirt on his chin, to a room where there is seated a fluffy-maned Leonin by the name of Tybalt Capulet. He's wearing a red smoking jacket and is holding a tiny mug in his fingertips. You can smell roasted vanilla in the air. And he says, well, what less would we expect from the great Hammerclaw clan? He beams broadly at you. So, not too much trouble then. He says
Very
as you're
little.
standing there, battered and bloody.
It's gonna pick up the oversized chicken head and reach it over and drop it right in front of the servant's feet.
That's disgusting.
Thought you might want this for the wall.
No, we'll have it disposed of course. Man, please. And you see the servant kind of lift it up. You can see, and he says, and you didn't have to venture too far down into the mines or up them? He kind of glances towards you over his tiny cup of tea.
I can imagine that you didn't want to put this up on your wall. It doesn't have quite the same allure as the head of a dragon now, does it?
Well. My concern, of course, was if whatever the beast was, it would make my mines its home. I tried to send my son Raymond to do it, but he, I guess, was busy with other matters.
Well, you can be sure that there'll be no foul and feral eggs being laid upon your lands anymore. That I can promise.
Glad to hear it. Well, I guess business is business, and you are required your payment.
I am.
And you can hear what sounds like coins jiggling next to you as the servant appears to be reaching into his breast pocket and pulls out, a little bag of a pouch of a coin here, hands it to you, and kind of pushes it into your body. And you see his hand is filled with all kinds of scrapes and bruises, cracked nails and calluses. It's just, very dirty.
Gonna pick up the bag, and does it seem to weigh the appropriate agreed upon amount for the sum of a dragon?
Give me a perception check.
I was gonna count it if it seemed anywhere outside of that realm, but
With a 14, the pouch there, it does not feel like the head of a dragon because obviously it wasn't the head of a dragon, right? But it feels like certainly a fair amount for any other kind of creature who, was too big and too powerful to be taken care of by the usual normal kind of pest control of the city.
Mr. Capulet, you would know, being that you contracted my services, that I was hired to do a job and the job is finished, whether the quarry was the expected one or not. I would expect the payment we agreed upon as discussed.
Well, Mr. Hammerclaw, you certainly understand that my family and your clan have done many, 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 many years and decades of business and centuries, even some would say it goes back. Do you insist to take the payment for the slaying of a dragon for this beast? Does that not fall ill upon your honor as a monster hunter?
What falls ill upon my honor is taking a sum of a job less than what was agreed upon.
The agreement was if it were a dragon, yes?
You're right. However, that wasn't my problem.
But it sounds, sir, as it may have become your problem. I will have you leave my estate.
Then point me in the direction of the dragon we talked about. And maybe I'll even forget about this. Hell, I'll do it for free. You know how
Give me a
we
persuasion
take
check.
the chromatics in my clan.
Give me a persuasion.
That's perception.
Nope, that'd be the wrong one.
That would be the wrong one.
So, to be clear, what you're saying is, if I were to produce a dragon for you to slay, you would do it for free, so long as I pay you the agreed upon amount today.
All I need is to be pointed in a direction. Let's say, while I don't take kindly normally to felon one of my ancestry, I got a bit of an inkling to fuck up another dragon today.
And he kind of puts his tea, you see him take his tiny teacup and put it down on the desk beside him and say, that's an interesting point that you bring up. Are you actually the descendant of dragons, or is that just like a thing that has come about over time? Because I'm just so curious. I've often seen that people will say the Leonin are descended from Manticore, and I would say that's absolutely ridiculous.
A lot of years and a lot of blood has been spoiled and spilled. It's hard to tell exactly, but and he just kind of opens his mouth a little bit again, and you see those same lightning kind of crackles between his teeth. Bahamut sure seems to shine kindly on me.
Well, I certainly hope he continues to shine on your path, I guess. If word does come around of a dragon, I assure you, you will be the first to know from my people. Of course, if my son Raymond doesn't want to take care of it himself. Although I would implore him to bring you with him, with the work that you've shown here today. So.
I don't have much need for apprentices. Tybalt. Good day. And he turns and walks away.
Well, enjoy your earnings. Yeah, he gave you 50 gold pieces for killing the cockatrice.
All right.
And as you're
do I add that in Foundry, or do I add that in my D&D character sheet?
It's up to you.
Okay.
As you're walking out, you just kind of walk out, you're cleaning yourself up, you're exiting the estate, and you see kind of sitting at the end against a low wall, the kind of low stone wall there, is a blue-skinned woman who says, you're Kestis Hammerclaw, yes?
Some call me that.
Of the Hammerclaw clan?
And who might you be?
Oh, well, my name is Janae. I work for one of the local lords, actually, and we may have a job for you. I assume there may be some incredibly powerful monsters. I know you are particular about dragons. I don't believe this is a dragon kind of situation, but a very rare monster, nonetheless.
You're starting to speak my language. What do you have in mind?
Please. And she kind of reaches into her tunic and pulls out a slip of paper and hands it to you. Says, meet me at this address later tonight.
I imagine you'd prefer me to be a little less bloody on arrival.
Well, that's entirely... I could help you with that now if you'd like.
If you'd like.
And you see her kind of just wave her hand, and this spout of water starts to kind of come off of it. And she says, and as she waves her other hand, you can see what looks like just some arcane energy coming off of it. And she says, which would you prefer? Would you like me to magic the filth away, or would you like a good hosing?
From you? Pick your poison.
Well, how about a little bit of both? And she kind of takes the time to clean you up and hose you down, and then clean you up again because it was fun, I guess. That there is what happens. You kind of get the slip. You go to the estate that you all were invited to, and that is where you find yourself now. And it's your turn. So, please, do whatever you want to do.
So, seeing the all of the action and seeing that Claire has distanced herself from our new friend, I'm gonna close the gap and come up to the armored knight and just look him dead in his face area. I guess he doesn't really have a face, and say, "So you want to see what we got? Is that right?" And he's gonna let off his breath weapon.
Beautiful. He said, yes. Show me who you are.
How do I turn this?
With the mouse wheel.
Okay. Do not target ing. Okay, well it expended it, but it didn't actually do it.
Did it?
Well, it expended it in my thing, but it didn't actually use it.
I'm gonna do it again. What the fuck is going on here?
There we go. I figured it out.
All right. There we go. You see this torrent of lightning escape of the armored knight, unable to get away with the massive, incredibly well sculpted armor, just kind of stands there. breath exploding out of Kestis, and you can see the electricity lightning just arcing up and down this shimmering, glittering, jagged black armor.
Gee, don't, please. I'd like to actually take a look at that armor. Don't destroy it.
I'll see what I can do.
All right,
and that's my turn.
And that's it there. No bonus action, no movement.
I can't really do a whole lot with my weapon
Okay.
out, so I'm gonna have my turn.
Beautiful. So, Zaltik, we're on you.
All right.
Took us a while, but we got there. All right.
Speak for yourself. I'm not Adam.
You are. You are in areas you are incredibly familiar with, Zaltik, high above the seedy alleyways of the gut, overlooking the haven for vices and victims. We find you, Zaltik, avoiding the hustle and bustle, looking for any opportunities to make money. What are some things that you would get up to make money? What are some things that Zaltik might find? Some jobs he might find here in the gut.
Anytime I can just go by anybody that may not be 100% awake, I could go pickpocket them with my
Give me a
extra
sleight of
hand.
check.
Yeah. Sleight of hand. That's... There. Wow. Oh wait, no, never mind. There we go.
Yeah, man, you sneak. You kind of creeping past somebody. You can see them stumbling a bit. As a matter of fact, as you're up over the alleyways, kind of around the rooftops and the scaffolding, you see somebody stumbling around. You're like, I know I can get this guy. You drop down quickly, kind of walk past, pull your hood up, walk past, get a pickpocket, grab a pouch, has about 10 gold pieces in it. You can go ahead and add that to you if you would like, and you pocket that. Then you have a memory of the first time an older sibling of yours took you out and showed you, this skill that you have artfully crafted in your own right. And where there should be a sense of pride, there is not. There is just this emptiness and a powerful sense of guilt. What else might Zaltik get up to when he's running around the alleyways trying to find work, avoiding, main society?
Well, while going around in this particular town, he could go to this particular establishment of some sorts. Is where he finds his main jobs at.
Uh-huh.
And so he's heading his way here to the Raven's Shadow.
And you see a what looks like a kind of old, almost abandoned bakery that has been repurposed by a bunch of goblins, and a couple of other different. There's a couple of half orcs that are kind of involved here. A couple of elves, but like shadow elves, drow. But you rarely ever see them. Mostly it's just a bunch of fucking goblins. And they talk about the Raven Shadow and all this, but they don't really seem to know much about what they're talking about. What you know, it's a great place to get jobs. In fact, you've been hired a couple of times in the last few weeks, and your reputation has grown. You're starting to garner interest. People are starting to kind of request you by name and things like that. As you're perched up, you kind of look around. You see a stumbling Gif, drunk but still weirdly graceful, lumbering through the alleys. Later that day, you see a dragonborn, kind of copper, bronze dragonborn. They're dragging this massive reptilian chicken head through town. You see a very strange looking, confused elf woman, a strange looking elf. You've never seen an elf like this before. It seems to be really way too interested in libraries for some reason. And you know that you have a new contact to meet with tonight, who's going to offer you a new job, and it's almost about time, as it's getting later in the day, for you to meet your contact. So you go to the stone pillar where you were asked to meet with them. And I need a stealth check if you can hide there for me, with advantage on hiding. Because, well, are you wearing clothes?
My cloak.
So then, without advantage. $14. Beautiful stuff. You're standing there waiting, and you watch as a woman matching the description seems to be speaking with a little redhead halfling guy who's kind of excited and kind of dumb, and then another large gif individual wearing all kinds of weird, like, I don't know, mechanical clockwork bullshit. You're not into all that stuff. And she's apparently is having a conversation with them. You're watching kind of that go down, and you are just waiting. Just waiting. Then their conversation seems to kind of wrap up or end a little bit abruptly, and she walks over to you and says, "Oh, well, she walks over to where you should be. Doesn't quite notice you at first. As she's approaching the stone where you're standing, where you were told to meet. You try to get her attention.
Yeah, so I'll speak into her mind.
Oh, and she said, "Oh,"
and say, "I'm here for the job."
That's you. I didn't even see you there. Okay. And she kind of is saying back out loud, quietly, but using her mouth. And right, so this is going to be you're going to have to work with a team. I know this is not something that you're used to doing. We're trying to put together the team for you now. This will be an infiltration. This will be info gathering. And there will likely be a lot of aggressive self-defending.
Why can't I just do this by myself?
The fear is that you may be overwhelmed, and then we will not get the information that we need. We have one chance for this.
Let them be a diversion. I can sneak past. I could do the job better than any of them.
And then she kind of reaches into her cloak, pulls out a little kind of piece of what looks like broken metal and glass, and she says, "Can you tell me what this is?"
That's none of your concern.
Of course. Yep. And she kind of tucks it and says, "We're going to need people who can understand some of the more archaeologically advanced items that you may find inside there."
All right, fine. I
Don't
guess
worry,
whatever.
it won't cut into your share.
All right. I suppose
Here.
we may have a deal here then. You better compensate me for having to work with others, though.
As a down payment, she pulls a pouch out and hands it to you.
Oh, thank you. It's I look inside. How much do I see in here?
Looks like it's about 30 gold pieces.
It's a decent down payment. And how much will I get
And-
after the job?
But it depends on exactly how much you're able to accomplish. We again come to the address inside the note in the pouch tonight. A couple of hours probably. You'll be able to get more information then.
I suppose I will be there then.
And you start to see her form just kind of dissipate, just disappears. And you hear her voice just as she's disappearing saying, "There will be an audition," as she fades into the ether.
She just poofed, man.
Bam.
Poof. What do you need? Poof. What do you need?
All right.
So do you make your way to the
Yeah, so I just go back into the shadows and make my way there.
you find yourself looking at this kind of just decrepit, almost seemingly abandoned estate on the outskirts of Neverwinter, farther inland than kind of anywhere that is considered Neverwinter proper. Wayne Tower kind of out of the way. Wayne Mansion kind of out of the way. And you see what looks like a little bit of light up at the top, in the top tower, the foremost tower, and you could see the blue-skinned woman kind of waving her hand in the window, trying to summon you inside.
All right, so I'll cautiously approach the inside area.
And as you are now back in the moment where you are now, it is your turn. Please attack the armored knight as you have been instructed. You can hear him kind of beckoning you on, and he's saying, "Now, I believe it is your turn. Come on. I like what you did with those, with those spectral daggers."
I'm going to move.
Show me what you can do. You wanted to do this alone, didn't you? You'd likely die before you opened the main door.
Oh shit! God damn it!
That's foreboding.
God damn it! One moment. My map just completely moved on me. There we go. So I'm just gonna step over. There,
Whoa.
and then I'm just gonna do the plates again.
All right.
I like
target
how
up.
he's half in his shadow.
It's beautiful.
Right, just being in the corner, just doing the same things I did last time with throwing both my spectral daggers. All right, so the first one. Oh, I need to target him. Duh. There we go. All right. Ouch.
Gotta love those amazing Spencer rolls.
I know, right?
It's a fucking trans,
the first one just
trans
completely-
medium.
You're right. The first one just completely flies past his head. Just completely miss.
So you're gonna have to do better than that.
All right, and then I try my other one.
Yes,
17?
yes. You know, out of the gate, you're not very good, but. And he kind of recoils and kind of rubs the spot where the dagger just starts to kind of dissipate and says, "But after your first try, good. And that is going to be the end of your turn, yes?
Yep.
Beautiful. As you can see him gearing up, he kind of takes aim directly here in front of him and says, Kestis Hammerclaw, member of the Hammerclaw clan, yes? You have the honor of centuries of dragon hunting in your name alone. Are you prepared to see things you've never seen before?
You must not know me that well. That's all I'm here for.
That's the point of this engagement, is to get to know each other. You never quite know someone until you've crossed blades with them. Speaking of blades, he kind of strikes out at you with his dagger. You're able to get the shield up, ping, knock it away. He says, ha ha, good timing, smart. And then, but you're not the only one here, are you? And you'll see him then run past you. You're going to make opportunity attack.
Hell yeah.
This bitch.
You have to learn to protect your allies as well.
I guess it's just with my rifle.
It would have to be a melee weapon.
Well, I don't have a melee weapon out.
Ooh, then you will not be able to.
Can I shield
do it.
bash him? Unarmed strike him.
Sure. That would be that would work. Beautiful. As he's running away here, you hit him in the back. He says, "Ha ha! Doesn't stop me from killing him if I reach him." As he uses his dagger, stabs into you, Zaltik, pulls it out, and says, "Okay, how do you like that? Was that bad?"
Telepathically in his mind, where nobody else could hear. I'll get you back for that, you bitch.
He says, "Well, don't let me kill your allies then." And he runs past you and goes over to attack Thea, or to attack Claire with the dagger as well, but is unable to connect. Beautiful. As he comes in and swipes down at you, Claire, you're able to kind of just get out of the way. And he says, well, I surrender.
Okay.
Good show, really.
Good
I think
show.
you've all
You
performed
ran around the whole
admirably.
place the whole time.
Oh, well, you couldn't hit me.
I
Me
hit
and my
you.
brother hit you.
Oh shit.
I believe the
Uh,
Dragonborn also like spit some lightning on you.
I believe
I
there
s-
is.
I said you couldn't hit me.
Now, as much as I'm here for wreaking havoc, I'm not much one for games. You want to tell us what all this is about?
You know what? I absolutely do. Yes.
And
I
can
have
your
to
sword
test your
stop
metal.
hovering around my brother's head? It's like just kind of floating
I
over there.
would
like...
suggest let your brother move. That sword has a bit of a mind of its own. It won't bother you, I assure you. I hope. Yeah, see? You're fine. So, I had to test your metal. I had to see if you were prepared to handle what comes later. I'm looking for a group of individuals to sponsor, I guess they would say. Things are changing here in Setil. The world, in fact, and I'm afraid that the Capulets have began meddling in things they do not understand.
Brother, you see Capulets. They're dealing with the Capulets.
I know. I heard.
And
Oh,
each of you
They sure me.
have a particular set of abilities and interests, and he kind of turns to Claire and says, origins, that I think will be useful and informative and helpful in this mission, this task that I have. Also, you're all kind of outcasts, like me.
And who are you?
I have a friend and a brother. I don't feel like an outcast.
Oh, yes, Colin Halffoot.
What do you know of my friend?
I'm told he's a pleasant individual. A bit rude, doesn't really introduce himself or ask people their names.
I spoke to him about that. Yes. He's not all there sometimes.
It seems you're having a positive influence on him then.
I try.
Brother, do not speak so casually to this person who just tried to kill us.
Oh,
we were in no danger.
Stop it.
Take off your armor. Take off your helmet if you are, in fact, not interested in combat.
You'll see then at about then Janae will kind of walk up and you'll see him raise his hand. You can hear the metal clink in the gauntlet, raise his hand in her direction, and he says, removing one's helmet isn't proper.
I use an action and doff the helmet of my armor. So it's just the hippo head sticking out. He's like, seems proper enough to me.
Well,
At least raise your visor then.
in my clan, my
Your
visage
clan.
is
Your clan.
not of import. But I will introduce myself. My name
Is it not your
Lawyer-
way?
Is this the way?
My name is Lawyer Jargon, and he kind of bows very low. And welcome to my home. I hope to hire you to investigate the Capulet mines, see what it is that they're doing there.
Mines, brother. I am looking.
What
for
do you?
a
Hold on.
project
hold on.
of mine? I'm looking for a crystal.
Good sir, what do you think they are doing there?
I'm not entirely sure. Either they've just stumbled on something that maybe has fallen from the heavens, or they are developing some technology that will bring us there.
He literally runs up
yeah.
in the middle of you talking. He's like, "We'll go."
Okay. You can see even through you can see even through the angular armor, the taken aback of the exuberance from his. Well, I'm glad to see that you're excited.
He is only interested because you are luring him with shiny things.
But do take heed. This can be very dangerous. You must be prepared.
Pshaw.
Be prepared. Oh wait, I'm not the bard.
I speak into his mind and say, "You underestimate me."
No, dear, no, darling. Of course I do not. Your reputation far precedes you, Zaltik. Your reputation precedes you from the wastelands where you're from. Your clan. Where you're from.
How do you know about them?
It's important for me to know a lot about who it is that I'm hiring. Do you think I live in what appears to be a haunted mansion on the outskirts of Neverwinter because I can't afford anything better?
That's secretive. Nobody knows about where I came from.
And he turns to Claire and says, "Well, thank you, darling. I do try to at least dive into the aesthetic." So, I'm not entirely sure what are in the Capulet mines. But I do know that there may be incredibly dangerous creatures inside. And if the Capulets are aware of what's going on inside their mines, then they may have set up guards. I also may have a friend inside there, a contact, for you to liberate, and if you can, return to me. But his freedom is just as valuable as him returning to me.
Well, I can
Ray
tell you,
voice.
I was say, I tell you, there's one less beast out there. If it's the same mine I just came from.
You wait.
Indeed.
What do you mean? Just say wait. Is this one working with the Capulets?
I
Why do you laugh?
The DM left. There's nobody left.
Okay. Just making sure.
Were you referring to me?
Yes.
Well,
he
you're
was
the one
referred
who
to.
mentioned you were in the mines. Did you not? The mines run by the Capulets.
Their family and mine have a history. But,
Your family and theirs.
I go where the money goes, and
Mike,
about family history with the Capulets.
family history with the Cap. We are Montagues. We are the family history with the Capulets.
I'll tell you this. As I said, I go where the money goes, and they're not paying very well.
Well, that's because Ray Leonion's a cheapskate. He's not gonna pay you anything, and his father even cheaper.
They hold their gold so tight they can make gold thread.
Yeah. You know how those Lannistans pay their debts? Well, the Leonians, they never ever pay theirs.
Ever.
Those stupid Capulets, they never pay their debts. And they're
I mean, that technically has been your experience. Hammerclaw.
I've noticed.
and yet you still work with them. I don't want to work with this one.
You assume much. I don't work for anyone.
He takes jobs just like you. And I think that buggy thing over there does the same kind of work. Anyway, people do strange things for money. You know this as much as I do.
But not
but I
work
think we
with your
really should take a look at
arch-nemesis.
these crystal mines. I think it's of a dire
Brother,
importance
it's
we
all
take a
about
look
the shiny.
at these
Are there
crystal-
jewels down there?
It is about the intellectual value that I might find
It's
in those mines.
about
I have a project.
How the monetary
I don't
value
care how much
we
money
may
it's
find in
worth.
those mines.
No, not for me.
Unless you can build me something cool out of what's down there, I don't
Well, I have
care.
a few. See him pull out
Wait.
a scroll thing, a scroll case
Wait,
from his
wait,
bag.
let me
of
take a
holding.
look
He's
at
like, I have a
those.
few.
Let me take a
projects
look
that
at
I am
those.
working on.
For me?
Mine first, projects later.
Are they for me?
Can we get to the mine and we'll discuss it?
Fine.
Yes, I think it's important that we take care of business first. So, I haven't heard much from you, darling. He kind of turns to Claire and says, "Now, I know you wanted to get into the Volineum. You have something very particular that is a bit of information that you're looking for."
That's correct. Do you want to know what it is?
I don't know why you're being so coy. Either you're going to tell me and I can help you, or you don't tell me and I won't help you. That's...
What do you know about people getting sick and dying in the plains? Yeah, The Astral
Do you... Hmm. What do you mean? What do you mean? How sick and dying in the plains? What do you mean?
Plane. I knew someone. We were traveling. She got sick. She died. End of story.
Well, it seems like you know everything that you need to know about it, if that's the end of the story.
It's the end of her story, I think. Maybe it's not.
Was it a strange kind of sickness?
Nobody where I was knew what it was. People blamed me.
Do you bring up what you learned in the library?
No.
Well, you hear him kind of say, well, I can... If you have more information, I can look into it. I have very many contacts. But what I can do is, if you are to accomplish this mission for me and learn whatever you can learn and save my friend, that may be... I'm not entirely sure if it's true, but I sent him in to look around, and I haven't heard from him since. So he may have just gone off and engaged in something else. It's difficult to know for sure, but then I can certainly help you get a library card, and then you are free to research whatever you'd like, however you'd like, with whomever you'd like.
That sounds good.
So,
Meanwhile, Ing was kind of looking back and forth as you're talking, and he's been kind of staring at Claire.
Mhm.
His lenses like come down, and the lenses are like going in and out, and he's like squinting and looking at her. He's like, "You are not like any elf I've ever seen before, and we've been across this whole continent, have not we? Oh my!
Yeah.
There's
I know a half elf. It doesn't look like her.
There's something I'd like to do some kind of check. Would it be
Go for it.
just perception or history? I mean, history. I don't think so because Astral, we wouldn't technically know anything about them.
Nature? No. Perception.
what do you think, Claire?
I don't know.
He's telling you to choose. That's what he's telling
Yeah.
No, just asking
I
what you
mean,
think.
you.
not have to
insight,
choose anything.
perception,
Choose.
Insight or perception. Go for either of those.
It would make an insight check.
Insight. All right.
And Claire,
gonna
are you
tell you
hiding
anyway.
are you attempting to, never mind.
No, she's straight up gonna answer. Oh, I'm not from here.
That's,
I'm from there. And she points up.
with a 10. She's from there. She
She
points
points
up.
up.
He just squints again. And the lenses go up, and he like keeps looking at her, and he like pulls out a book. It's a pretty big book. It's just like, we'll continue this later. And he turns around. He starts flipping through the pages.
Not only is it curious, but there's also something familiar about Claire.
Hmm.
You have no idea what it is.
Yeah, I was gonna. That was an idea I had. Yeah, but 10 is not enough for anything.
No.
Kestis is
she'll
going to
tell
look
you.
over at Janae and just, where do you fit in all of this?
This is my lord, I serve. I am simply but a gopher. I help where I can.
He's going to look back at, what is his name? Lucius?
That's another campaign.
Lawyer,
Yeah,
lawyer jargon.
Lawyer? This is not like any other gopher I've ever run into.
Well,
he says, yes, and you should know that you can speak to her directly. She will probably cut your head off if you disrespect her. So I'd be careful.
No disrespect, man. Just curiosity.
And she says, none taken, actually. Very curious myself.
Just gonna tip his hat.
Ma'am.
I got Sam Elliott on our
Yeah.
Fucking full Sam Elliott from Roadhouse.
I was thinking more Sam Elliott from Big Lebowski, but
Of
cold
course.
sarsaparilla.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
you can never go wrong with
so-
any Sam Elliott, so it's
Really can.
Now, let's see. I guess, again, my associate, a dwarven gentleman. So, if you'll know him if you meet him, he's not from around here, one might say. One might say he's from up there.
His name doesn't have to be Jack, does it?
No, I don't
No.
know who that is.
Oh.
Not
Wonder if
familiar
Jack
with
knows.
him.
Brother, what-
You know Jack, that dwarf that I work with sometimes on heists. You've had a drink with him.
What? How would you know? You're blackout drunk before I finished my first one.
What are you talking about? One gets you
Exactly.
blackout drunk.
So to be
Wow,
clear,
pretty much.
you two can finish your sibling squabbling some other time. Do we have an accord?
Well, not going to hear the end of it if I disagree. So yeah, I'm in.
Good.
You have my
And
answer.
Ing, of course, has already granted it. Yes,
Yes,
I'm very
yeah,
excited to see
obviously.
what you're able to discover when you stumble on whatever's down there. And you, turns to Kestis.
I'm curious to see where this might take us. I'm in.
And Miss Thea.
Sounds good to me.
And of course, last but certainly not least, Zaltik.
As I telekinetically say to him, as long as I get my paycheck at the end, that's all that matters.
Yes,
And I can be away from these fools.
I can assure you, unlike the Capulets, I make good on my debts.
We'll see about that.
That
Or else there
actually
may be
sounds
a
pretty
dagger.
good. Might put that on a banner. Unlike the Capulets, I make good on my debts. So, I have a pheasant in the oven. Are you all hungry?
Very
We
much
shall be
so.
known as the Fellowship of the Gopher.
Oh, boy.
Ing,
You see
you
Janae-
are no writer.
I telekinetically speak to Ing for the first ever time and say, the fuck does that mean?
What is someone was speaking
Everything-
in my mind.
Everything all right, brother? Who was speaking in my? Who do I have to beat up?
Oh, stop it. Not everything has to be fisticuffs. It sounded like the chittering. Stay out of my head, please. And thank you. You'd probably get lost in there. There's
Look, you.
too much, too much
you.
information for you.
I've heard about you. Damn bug.
All right. So,
Kestis is walking towards food.
Yeah. You see Janae is kind of slipped right between Ohm and Ing. They have not noticed. Just continue to whatever the fuck that shit is, and it's like follow me, and kind of guiding and things, and yeah, you all go in. You have some fucking food or some shit, and he says, if you all would like to rest here, you can. I would prefer that you did, to be honest, because I'm concerned about the goings on in Neverwinter. But I think you should all get right to it in the morning, because the mines are usually active at night. So
Ing does walk up to you with a he has like a little box, little case, and he's holding one of his like tinkerer tools. And he's like, "Can I the armor? We did discuss this before. Could I have a sample of the metal? Just a shaving, just something."
nothing happens for a moment, and he says, "You can certainly try, but it may prove volatile."
This
It's
be
a
much
very
easier with your
old
cooperation.
armor. It's really not up to me. But again, we will have plenty of time if you just ting ting ting
Yeah. Yeah.
Poking him.
ting ting ting. That's this. We will have time to discuss the various arcane or magical devices and items that I have access to. Of course. We will be able to discuss this later.
And any books
let's-
that you may have on it as well. I will. I promise to return them.
Sure, absolutely. Give me Ingval a history check.
Ooh. You can do it, brother.
Oh God damn it!
Oh my god. Oh man.
That's pretty rough.
We've had some rough rolls tonight, man.
He was just very ting 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 ting.
Yeah,
he just-
you're so distracted by the
Yes,
zoned
armor.
out.
Yeah, so distracted.
We will have plenty of time. He kind of like starts to like shoo the ting ting away from him.
I
This
agree.
massive gauntlet just comes up.
I say,
it's just like,
excuse my
we'll have
brother, and I
time.
pull him away from you.
And remember, this is our little secret.
The only person I can tell is Colin. He already knows.
And that'll be the end of tonight's session, guys. I certainly hope it was fun. I was trying some shit.
Yeah, that was good. I liked it.
I appreciate that. And yeah, I guess in 2 weeks we'll be back to do this shit again.
Back
Yeah.
again.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so just a question. Are we playing Dungeons and Dragons in space or Romeo and Juliet in space?
I was going to mention
Oh.
that. The Shakespeare.
Well, here's the
lady is
thing.
freaking out right now.
Yeah.
I just like the name Montague, and because it sounded very like posh, Ingval Montague, and I talked to Chris. He's like, yeah, I like the last name, and then the joke came up with the Capulets. We're like, yeah, that would be our villains. Then it'd be the Leonins. They're Capulets, and it just
I love it.
grew from there. So-
Yeah,
I love it.
Love it so much.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
nuts.
we're definitely nerds.
Shakespeare nerds.
We're
I look
hey,
our
love Shakespeare.
Capulets and Montague is more like Game of Thrones-ish Starks and Lannister kind of deal.
Yeah, as you can tell from the yeah, you like that. Love the just improv of that. That was great. That came, yeah. It was like again, like, and it worked out because they didn't pay you the way you wanted.
I couldn't. I was trying to hold back laughing with the Yzma and Kronk the entire time. I'm like, oh my god, fucking god.
Yzma Kronk, yeah.
No idea what
Pull
you're
the
talking about.
lever.
Yeah, no idea. Right? No idea. You have none.
That was great.
So the thing, starting off with like initiative and then going into the flashback stuff, was it too much? Was it like too hard of a narrative kind of way to open up where a lot of people were spending a lot of time not doing anything.
No, I like it. I did some dishes.
No, especially for an opening. It's a good
And
way
listen.
for people to know the
Yeah, session
characters
one,
of this
right?
meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking, that's
I
what the
love
DM
the
wants
little
to hear.
threads that you saw. The little threads throughout of each
perfect.
person's
Yeah.
flashback of like saying, "Hey, maybe that's that person. Maybe that's that person."
Right,
Awesome.
right. The little,
It was
yeah,
really
I thought that
cool.
was fun.
Yeah.
I like how I ended up being last and somehow like, it just works out there where I see everybody and it fits perfectly within my character that's just in the shadows the
You
entire
got
time.
lucky. Yeah. Well, and I wonder, if someone else had been a lower initiative, what would happen?
Yellow was just banking on me having the lowest initiative.
Of
and,
course.
listen,
Banking on a natural one.
within my,
It's like the
yeah,
odds
such
are
a
Spencer
watch by.
will roll a nat 1 on initiative because it happens
God, don't
60%
even have
of
to
the
worry
times.
about it. I don't even have to. I don't even have to write his story until halfway through the goddamn session. How low his initiative is going to be.
I do just want to say that I wrote a note in my book of Bronze Dragonborn dragging a chicken head in chains, and I wrote that in pen. So fuck you for that. I was like, that sounds interesting.
Yeah,
It was me.
Okay. All right. Cool. Because I'd never done nothing like that before. I didn't know how. My concern was that it was gonna feel incredibly railroady too. You know what I'm saying? Because no matter what happens, you're gonna end up in this fucking place fighting this dude, right? But
Railroad.
I
think it made sense. I liked it.
I was
really like
confused at first, but it took because I was first. So I was like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
so you were out the way. early.
And as far
I
as
needed
opening,
direction.
as far as opening stuff when you're first starting,
It's cool.
you gotta have I never understood what people think
Yeah.
is railroading. It's like we gotta have a reason to be here, and
Uh-huh.
we signed up to play because we want to go on this adventure. So it's
Yes.
yeah.
Right.
Shit, excuse me. Yeah. As long as you feel like you get to make choices, or at least that the things that are happening are in line with what your character is wanting to do, that's kind of the key to it, I think. Yeah. So.
And when I was looking
guess
at
that's
the elf, when Ing was looking at the elf, it was the astral spark. The astral was the whole thing that was like, but he couldn't put his finger on it.
Just ask her.
And I'm oblivious to the astral spark, so I'm like, you look like I know a half elf, it doesn't look like she doesn't look like you.
She's purple.
I was like,
She's purple.
That was cool. No, I'm excited for
Well,
this.
that plays into his backstory too, because he's
yes.
researching all the stuff with planar theory and stuff like that. So, a possible creature that's from another plane. It's like
He's excited. You got him excited.
Let's talk. You have
You
the
got-
research. I am the research.
You got Ing excited. You don't want to get in. You wouldn't like him when he's excited.
yeah, it's not even like that. Ing is so
Hey,
asexual. It's an
Claire's
intellectual
weird.
boner.
Mm-hmm.
Claire is so weird.
It's that he's gonna be nerd out, so he's gonna be out of
Yes.
control and not focus on what needs to be done.
You don't want to know what I wrote in
Beautiful.
Claire's journal, her private journal, right now. So
I do.
you'll find out eventually. I'll send it.
Yellow's like DM privilege.
There.
Send it over.
Yeah, you get to know. You get to
I
know.
want to know immediately.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. There you go.
I'm excited to find out.
It's
All
short.
right, I'm
but
gonna
yeah.
end the stream. Goodbye, y'all. Anyone who
Awesome.
watched,
Alright.
we'll be back.